Hello everyone, Glenda Mollet here, and I'm stamping in my craft room with you this morning. We're going to stamp one of the November 2019 monthly club cards. So here's the November host code for those of you that belong to the club. And if you're watching this on the replay in about a year, if you'd like to email me, there's my email address. I'm just checking to make sure I'm oriented properly and no funky things are happening. Aha! Got it. Okay. I started before and it was sideways, so I had to redo it. Okay, so here's the card we're going to make. It's kind of like a fancy fold. It's a little bit different. You have to be really careful on your placement of the snow globe, though, so that it doesn't interfere with this. And if you get it over too far, we'll just cut that a little bit narrower. It's not a big deal. So here's the recipe. I'll just leave it there for a couple of minutes so you can pause the video so you can write it all down. There we go. Okay, so we're going to be using Night of Navy and Seaside Spray inks. Going to use one of the ornate frames to cut this out. The Snow Globe Scenes dies for the deer, the snow globe, the base, the bears, and the tree, and then the hole to put it all together. This stamp comes from Itty Bitty Christmas. And then on the inside I put a row of snowflakes, and that comes from the Still Scene stamp set. And then I haven't done the envelope yet, but I'm going to put a deer on it. This deer from Dashing Deer. And this one's in the annual catalog because it carried over from last year. So just let me put these things away to get them out of my way. Bring in my supplies here. And we're going to use one of the Snow Globe shaker domes. Now on the weekend I had a class, and we were using them, and some of them don't have adhesive on both sides. It's really bizarre. So this is one of them. So the way you can tell is because there's nothing there to peel. So when you buy your shaker domes, make sure you check them, because see if I can show you the difference. There's a bit of a difference. See, it's shiny here, and it's a bit duller there, and you can feel the lip of the adhesive there. So I'm going to have to check all the other ones in that box now. And if that happens to you and you get one that doesn't have adhesive on one of the sides, make sure you contact me so I can get them replaced for you. Okay, so there's that. Get out our worst supplies. So this is a piece of thick Whisper White, and it's cut at 7 7/8 by 4 1/4 and scored at 2 3/8. Okay, so let's put this over here so you can keep it in sight while we're putting this. There's a few steps to this card. Oop. All right. Oops, dropped my envelope. Hang on. And I just got to pull my Big Shot in so I have access to it here. All right, so let's do some die cutting first of all and get some things cut out. As I find with these cards, if you get everything cut out first, it's a lot easier. So this piece, I put some of the adhesive sheets on the back. And we're going to use this detailed die for the top. And this one works so much better. Let me turn this over. If you have it on the magnetic platform right down here at the bottom, and then put your cardstock on top of it. Because when you run your plates through the Big Shot, this is where the rollers are for the Big Shot, so you get more pressure on the edges. So this one, I also put adhesive on the back, and we're going to cut out the base for the snow globe and the deer. that on. And then we have, I haven't stamped the sentiment yet, so I can't do the sentiment. Now there's some pieces that layer, and I just want to make sure that I have the right things, that I'm not cutting the wrong pieces. So this piece is going to go on the inside, so I'm going to put that one to the side. And then we have this one for the sentiment, and this one to cut the bears, the polar bears out. Like that. Let's turn them this way. Now this layer that's underneath here, we're going to cut out some trees because we cover that layer up anyways. So let's just, I'm trying to get everything on here, so I just have to whip it through once. Put this here and get the trees, and I'll put them over to one side, not right on the edge, but I don't really want them to be underneath. So now we've got the trees and the bears and both pieces of the base and the deer. All right, plate on top. Oops, just fix that before I do. Plate on top and wing them through. And when you have an intricate die like the one for the base, just go through slowly. You don't have to rush. It just gives the machine time to give really good consistent pressure all over. All right. So there's our trees. Oh, and then I didn't cut out the die. Oh, that's okay. I have to cut out the hole for the snow globe too. That. And this dude, let's just push him out of there. And then the bears. Mama bear. And baby bear. Now you could also use shimmery, or not shimmery, the sparkle glimmer paper to do your bears, and they'd be really pretty. But of course I didn't think of that when I was making my original card. Just getting rid of the pieces here. Okay, I still haven't cut the hole for the thing, but I want to get all my pieces ready here first. So I'm just grabbing one of my mats so I can use the brush part of the take your pick tool and just do it over top. It just helps release a bunch of the stuff. Oh, because this has got adhesive on the back, it's not going to completely let go, but because of the plastic on the back. So you just, when you pull this off, hopefully more pieces will come with it. Okay, that out of the way. And I'm just going to bring back that piece of white that I cut the bears out of, so because these have all got adhesive on the back of them now, and I don't want them sticking to my stamping surface. So the easiest way to get rid of these little pieces is just to put them on your finger like this and push down, and they stay on your finger. Then you just have to pull them off your finger. Now that can be time consuming depending on how many you've got left sticking in there. And one there, and one there. Now I'm just going to go to the back. All right. Now I'm going to put this onto the silver part of the base. Now these adhesive sheets are forgiving to some extent, and if you get it in the wrong spot, they will allow you to pull it back up again. Now, get rid of all these. I have garbage cans to put these in, but sometimes they just don't come off your fingers. Come on. The adhesive sheets make things so much easier, but then you're dealing with sticky little pieces. There we are. Okay, so we got that done. We got the tree. I'm just going to take that piece out that's not supposed to be there. Got our polar bears. And we have our deer. Now this piece goes on the inside, so I can put that on. And I'm just using tear and tape here. Get my base out, and we're going to put it in here, and I'm going to put this over to this side so that it doesn't interfere with the hole. If I don't get the little piece in behind the hole back properly. Okay, so I just put a little bit of tape there to hold it on. Get the rabbit ears going here. So this is Monday morning when I'm taping this, and the weekend was crazy, stupid busy with traveling. On Saturday morning, I went to Vancouver with some of my team to a Stamping Up seminar. And then got home at midnight. And the next morning, got up and headed off at 7:30 a.m. to catch the ferry to go to Powell River and do a class. The only good thing was this was roll back your clock weekend. So I got an extra hour of sleep, which was really fun. Okay, so this is going to go in here, but first of all, we need to cut the hole for the dome to go in. Now, where is my washi tape? Uh-oh. I have a washi tape issue. Hang on, I'll be right back. Apparently it's not where it's supposed to be, so I just have to get some more. Okay, so I'm just going to get a little piece of washi tape. I don't want too much, so that when I put this down, it's going to stay where I put it. So let's get this off of here so I can deal with it properly. Okay, so I want it to be, this one I put down a little bit too low, so the hole was cut there. So this one I want it to be up a little bit more. The only thing you have to be really careful of is that your edge of the dome doesn't show through. So if you put this where you want it, kind of stick this where the hole will be cut, that'll let you know. So I'm up a little too high, and I need it over a little bit more, because you have to be able to actually get it in there. I know this is fussy, but this is the part that really needs to be done this way. Okay, so I've moved it over too far now. Let's just see. It's going to be fine. We're going to do it. We're going to do it right there. Okay, so now if you take this and put it in here and just do a dry run, that it's going to close. So it has to clear the inside cutting area. Nope, that's too far over. This goes on here like this. See, now that's going to close. So that's where I'm going to put it. The next step is to make sure that it's straight, so you don't have a crooked globe. So I'm just going to take my paper, I'm going to line it up on the grid paper, then line this up like this using the grid paper. Then I'm just going to move this down a bit so that it actually hits where the grid paper grids are. There. So the ruler is straight on the grid paper, and see it's crooked down here, so then I just need to move this so the paper is straight, and then I can just move this to the other side. I know this is crazy, but this is the really important part. If you don't get this, don't get it straight now, your whole card's going to be out. And of course I've moved this, so now we have to reposition it again. So I'm going to put that there like that. Make sure it's straight on the grid. Make sure the paper, the designer paper, is straight with my ruler. Put it down. And we'll put this on top. Get the card base out again. Put this in here. Put this on top. And close it. Sure. Let's go for it. If it works, it works. If not, well, we'll do a little cutting. Okay, so I'm just going to make sure that that's where it's supposed to be. And it looks kind of straight. Put it on magnetic platform and run it through. And you probably noticed that the pattern for the designer paper is sideways, because that's the way I cut it. And it's probably upside down too. So maybe I should have done it this way and had the snow at the top. Oh well. That's life. You can't sweat the small stuff. As I have learned with grandchildren, you pick your battles. Okay, let's just do a test run here and make sure that it's going to close properly. Oh, look at that! Couldn't have made that better if I'd have tried. Okay, so now I'm going to take the liner off of the top and put the globe on to the paper. So the way I do it is I put the bottom in first, and then I just kind of roll my fingers over the top and push it down. Okay, so now we take the part that we cut out of the middle, and we're going to attach our trees. Now I don't have anything popped up in here. I have it all flat, but if you want to pop your animals up, go ahead. I'm just going to use some Tombow because it's quicker. And do a little bit of this. If you use your dimensionals to put your bears on, then your sequins and glitter might get caught in behind, but it's your card, so if that's what you want to do, go for it. Okay, so we're going to put the trees in the middle. And remember, you're putting this back in, so you want it to be straight, because it has to go back in where it came out. So that's why I'm using Tombow, because it's a little forgiving and you can move it around as long as you don't put too much Tombow on. Sure, that looks good. All right, putting Mama in. And I'm not pushing her down yet till I get Baby in there, just so I can make sure I get it where I want it. And you'll probably notice I'm using my scissors as tweezers because that's just what I've done. Okay, so that's the inside of that built. So now in your package you have a piece of, this is just copy paper. And the reason I put it in there is so you can put this piece onto it so that it goes back inside here and doesn't just fit. See, if you put it on this, and then you can put it back inside your thing, line up the holes, and you can put adhesive on this to match in there. Does that make sense? So you don't have to be too worried about getting this die cut piece on there straight, because you can turn it. So I'm just going to put that down like that. I'm just using some tear and tape to hold it on. So now, you see what I mean? Now you've got a nice big area. You're going to put this back inside here like this. And then you can use the paper here to put adhesive onto your card. And you're probably saying, well, that's dumb because now it's going to show. Just cut that off. It's not life-threatening. Okay, so now we have this. And we're going to put some blingy blingy in there. So I need this. And I need the ice glitter. Sorry, but it was in my last box from when we did the home decor. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this, put it right in the middle. Like that. Don't sneeze when you have that open. Now these are the snowflake sequins and they stick to the lid. So before you open it, just give it a couple of taps just to get it down off the lid. And then you're going to put a pinch. I'll put these down because some of these, there's a whole stack. They don't come apart. So you kind of have to force them to share the space. Oh, they all have static. That's so bad. Okay. A few more in there. So I've just licked my finger a little bit to hopefully get rid of some of that static. Okay, now close this. Now this is what I mean by them all stacked together. Do you see that? Yeah, that's a whole bunch. That's probably 10 or 12 of them all stacked in there together. So I'm going to put that to the side. Get my embossing buddy. Now you could probably use a dryer sheet for this, but I don't have any handy. So I just use my embossing buddy just to put a little bit of stuff on here to get rid of some of the static. You're going to get some sticking anyways. And then use paper towel or your shirt or something. I'm using my shirt just to wipe it on, just to get rid of some of the white. Make sure everything is up inside where you're going to put your dome. Then you take the back liner off the dome. Now my head's going to get in the way, and I apologize, but I need to see where this is. See, they're sticking already, but that's okay. There we are. So there's our shaker. There's the shaker. Now, see, this is what I was saying. The adhesive from the shaker dome is stuck now to the piece of copy paper. So now I can go in here with my scissors and just cut off. Oops, be careful. Don't cut your designer paper like I just did. Uh-oh. Oh well. Just cut off the excess so that it doesn't show. Oh good, it didn't cut, it just folded. Yay! Okay. Oh, I didn't get enough. I didn't get enough embossing buddy on that. Seemed to have a lot of glitter sticking. Now you don't have to use the glitter. It's the glitter that sticks the most, but you can just use the snowflakes if you want. or sequins. Sequins work really good. We have the, what sequins do we have? Let me just see here. All right, I know I have sequins. Those. So this is the iridescent sequin assortment, and these ones are the woven threads. This would be really pretty in there. So I'll put them in the box, and if you guys want to use them, you can use them. So now we're going to put this on here like this, and then it's going to close. So this is a little difficult to work on because the dome sticks out. Now the good news about this is, yes, it makes your card really thick, these domes, but they still fit through letter mail. You have 3/4 of an inch for the oversized letter mail, and these will fit in there. And if you're looking for something to box them in, because you don't like the regular envelopes and how they fit, use the acrylic boxes that we have. They fit in there perfectly. There we are. Yeah, should have put a little bit more embossing buddy in there, but that's okay. I can let that go. And now this is going to fit on here like this. And see, I had it down. I said I was going to put it up further, and I still didn't. But that's okay. So this has adhesive on the back of it too, so I just have to take the liner off. And to put this on, hold it up at the bottom, put it on at the top so that you can get it equal on both sides. There you go. There's that done. Okay, now we have a piece of blue that layers with a piece of the same designer series paper. Now you can use this side. If you don't want to use the blue side, feel free to use the silver and white side, because you know what? I should have done that. Then you would have seen the difference. It's gorgeous. I love this paper, and it's low inventory again for about the 6th time since the 1st of September. It's, everybody loves this paper. I'm just going to take these little ones off. Probably regret that come time to put this paper down, but oh, I just took it all off. Oh well. All right. Just remember when you put this tear and tape down that where you put it is where it stays. There's no forgiveness at all. Okay, so now we have a piece of this Seaside Spray metallic ribbon. And this piece is about 8 1/4 inches long, 8 inches long. And we're going to do this cute little knot thing. So you take your ribbon, put your fingers in here like this, do half of it, and now I'm holding it taut with my ring fingers, and then make a knot. Yep, not challenged this morning. I'm sorry, this is like painful. There it is. Now, you pull the tails, keep this tight, pull the tails in the direction that you want them to go, and just pull everything nice and tight. Really tight. Tight, 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 tight. Now, ribbon scissors. And because I want this in the middle, it's going to be easy. If you wanted it on the side, then you put it there and hold it, and then cut it about there. But because I'm putting it in the middle, I just have to cut this in half. Now we'll put a little bit of tear and tape on both sides here. Oops, sorry. I was watching a video the other day. It was really a lovely project. But the person who was making it had everything down here working, and you couldn't see her do anything. So I'm trying to make sure I let you see everything I'm doing. Now, Maybe I want that way instead of that way. Okay. Let's just put a liner back on that tear and tape. See? I changed my mind. You never know. You never know. I'm going to put the ribbon down on the other part of the designer paper. So the pattern can show through. There. Make sure it's straight. Okay, it's not. So I'm going to use my grid paper, line my paper up straight. Yeah, it's way off. I want to move this one. Okay, so line your paper up, line the edge of your ribbon up on the grid paper, and then it's a little bit more difficult when you've got a knot in there. There we go. That's better. Okay. And then put your adhesive right over top so that it doesn't move. I've never had ribbon fall off by using this method, ever. And some of my cards hang on my wall for 6 months, depending on what it is, what catalog it's from, whether I do it in a class. And sometimes I do it in a class and then I put it back up on the wall again till the end of the catalog so that you can see. Now I'm going to sort of line this up. So I'm going to line the edge of the Night of Navy up with the edge of the Night of Navy. Yeah, I took all the liners off. That was silly. What a goose. There we are. Now I can go in with my ribbon scissors and tidy up the ends. As this ribbon has a tendency to fray when you pull it. There we are. Now we have our deer. Oh, forgot the deer has an adhesive sheet on the back. Come on. Don't you? I thought you had. Yeah, there we are. I'm just going to tuck this under here like that. And then we have the sentiment left. Oh, and the inside piece. There it is. I couldn't remember what I did with the inside piece. Now I remember. Okay, sentiment is from Itty Bitty Christmas. There we are. Now the inside. I don't know why I have Seaside Spray on there. Maybe instead of sponging in these, maybe we'll do these in Seaside Spray instead. I think so. But we need to sponge the edge of this. I don't do a lot of sponging, and I know my customers really enjoy doing it, so I've tried to start doing a little bit more. But if you're ever at one of my classes and you want a sponge and I don't have spongy stuff out, just let me know and I'll get sponges for you. It's not a big issue. Okay, so I'll get the Seaside Spray out and the snowflakes, and we'll just run a line of snowflakes up. There we are. I have a lot of mess here, and it's encroaching into my workspace, so I have to clean it up. Talk about OCD. I can't work when my workspace is messy. I have to have everything clean, and when I do a project I put everything back where it was, even though I'm going to use some of those products on the next project. Yeah, it's weird. I was in the middle of creating with the new Christmas time is Here Sweet, and I made a card and put everything away. Got everything back out, made another card, put it all away. That way I'm not looking for it. I know exactly where things are. Okay, so now this is going to go on the inside here. Like this. There we are. There we are. There's the card. I should have put it up further, and I really wish I had have. So in your package you also have a couple of extra pieces of this. This is just what was left over from the 6x6 sheet that I cut to make this card, and I didn't want to put it back in my thing, so you get the benefit of it. Now we're going to put some rhinestones on. At my pokey tool here. And let's use a big one there. And a medium one. Oh, no, that's not going to work. Come on. Up. Up. The big one up there. And the medium one. And then we'll put a small one on the front. Just right there. Nope. They can't be the same. Yep, that's my OCD coming out again. Okay, there we are. There's the first card, and there's the second card. See, this one got a little bit crooked in there. This one I got a little bit straighter. And they both have shaky in them. How fun is that, eh? Yay. Okay, haven't done the envelope. Oh, I didn't put sentiment on. Gonna cut it out with this die. Yeah, okay. I didn't get enough sleep this weekend. Oh, come on. I was really quite tired when we got home last night. You know how you get overtired and then you can't sleep? That's what yesterday was like. I had to stay up a bit and decompress. But it was nice on Saturday going over to Richmond. Got to see a whole bunch of my friends that I haven't seen for a while. And of course now that rhinestone's in the wrong spot because I forgot to put the sentiment on, so we just got to pull that up for a sec. Put the sentiment on. Make it straight. There we go. Put the rhinestone right there. Now, we haven't stamped the envelope yet. Okay, so I have this. I think I'll do it in Night of Navy. Put this stuff away so it's out of my way. I like this stamp set. Glad it carried over. It's fun. Okay, I'm just going to stamp a deer there. Look at how nice and solid that stamp is. Oof. There we go. And we're done. And then you get to go home with the extra pieces of designer paper. There we go. I'm glad you could join me today. There's the November monthly host code. And if you need to email me, gjmollet@shaw.ca. Thanks for joining me in my craft room this morning. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye for now.